No, right? It's like kind of.
Nice way to start the evening. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming and welcome to the class of 2025 12th grade play. We're so delighted that you've come out. Thank you very much. We have 2 more performances, so you are seeing the Brighton line cast tonight, and you can catch the Victoria Station cast in their second and final performance tomorrow, and this cast will at 4 o'clock, and this cast will perform their final performance on Saturday at 2 o'clock. Before we get started, I just wanted to make sure that if you need restrooms, and this is a new place for you, the restrooms you can either go out the back and around, or through those doors, and the restrooms are down on the right-hand side, about halfway down the hallway. We ask very much that you turn off your phones, and that you don't video or take pictures during the performance. That would be lovely. Just so that you can relax and our actors can relax and really enjoy what is theatre, a present and an ephemeral, essentially, experience. And we don't have so many of those. Everything is documented and registered and all the rest of it, but we come together. It's so important that you and you are here tonight to make this performance happen. We talk in drama about how a performance in drama and theatre is only created when the audience is there. It doesn't actually happen until you're here. And you are different every night too. So it's a really special experience for our students in doing something that is outside of just their effort. It actually requires participation on the part of the people who come to see them. So just real briefly, I want to let you know that this process is sort of one of the culminating events of what has been a rich and rigorous 4 years in the high school, and indeed a rich and rigorous experience in the entire school. When the students have in 12th grade, they've gone on their main trip, they've done their college applications, they've done their senior project presentations, which have taken them a year to complete. Then they go on internships for 2 weeks, and then they really have completed all their academic tasks. They're hearing acceptances, and they're really done, and in a sense, not with everything, they still continue with music and eurythmy, all these beautiful other performing arts, but they, rather than we just kind of let them, just slip away, we say, no, now you're going to go and do something completely different. You are going to work on something together, a major project, like a major task project that needs to be managed. And you're going to have to make all the decisions together. You have to come to consensus around those decisions. This is really preparing them in a major way for what it's going to be like when they're actually out there in the world, and they have to work on different teams and with different people they may not always agree with, but they have to get behind a vision and enact it. So when we started this book on March 31st, we had nothing but the people in the room, and it was a gorgeous sight, just seeing these amazing 14 seniors in the room, and we started to talk about who they are, and what they value, and what they want to create, and what gift they want to give to the community. And we went through an intensive process to get there, to choose a final script. And they came up with this script, The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde, which was written or performed in 1895. So and they wanted a huge challenge, and that is what they have done. So I would like you to relax and just kind of transport yourselves back to 1895 in London, England, where manners were everything, and who you loved was not necessarily an important thing to your parents, but doing what they said was of utmost importance, and then of course finding a way to do what you wanted to do, even more important. So please welcome the Brighton Line cast, or please join us in welcoming the Brighton Line cast to The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. Thank you.
I'm sorry for that. For your sake, I don't play accurately. Anyone can play accurately. But I play with wonderful expression as far as the piano is concerned. Sentiment is my forte. I keep science for life. Yes, sir. And speaking of the science of life, have you got the cucumber sandwiches cut for Lady Bracknell? Oh, by the way, Lane, I see from your books that on Thursday night when Lord Shoreman and Mr. Worthy were dining with me, 8 bottles of champagne are entered as having been consumed. Yes, sir. 8 bottles of that. Why is it that at a bachelor's establishment, the servants invariably drink the champagne? I ask merely for information. I attribute it to the superior quality of the wine, sir. And have observed that in married households, the champagne is rarely of a first-rate brand. Good heavens, is marriage so demoralizing as that? I believe it is a very pleasant state, sir. I've had very little experience of it myself. I've only been married once, and that was in consequence of a misunderstanding between myself and a young person. I don't know that I'm much interested in your family life, Lane. No, sir. It is not very interesting. I don't think of it myself. Very natural, I'm sure. That will do, Lane. Thank you. Yes, sir. Lane's views on marriage seem somewhat lax. I mean, really, if the lower orders don't set us a good example, what on earth is the use of them? They seem as a class to have absolutely no sense of moral responsibility. Mr. Ernest Worthy. How are you, my dear Ernest? What brings you up to town?
Oh, pleasure, pleasure. What else should bring one up anywhere? Eating as usual, I see, Algy.
I believe it's customary in good society to take some slight refreshment at 5 o'clock. Where have you been since last Thursday?
In the country.
What on earth do you do there?
When one is in town, one amuses oneself. When one is in the country, one amuses other people. It is excessively boring.
And who are the people you amuse?
Oh, neighbors.
Not nice neighbors in your part of Shropshire.
Oh, perfectly horrible. Never speak to one of them.
How immensely you must amuse them. By the way, Shropshire is your county, is it not?
Shropshire? Yes, of course. Oh, hello. Why all these cups? Why the cucumber sandwiches? Why such reckless extravagance and when so young? Who's coming to tea?
Oh, merely Aunt Augusta and Gwendolyn.
How perfectly delightful.
Yes, that is all very well, but I'm afraid Aunt Augusta won't quite approve of your being here.
May I ask why?
My dear fellow, the way you flirt with Gwendolyn is perfectly disgraceful. It is almost as bad as the way Gwendolyn flirted with you.
Well, I am in love with Gwendolyn. I've come up to town expressly to propose to her.
I thought you'd come up for pleasure. I call that business.
Oh, how utterly unromantic you
I really don't see anything romantic in proposing. It is very, very romantic to be in love, but I don't see anything romantic about a definite proposal. Why, one may be accepted, one usually is, I believe. Then the excitement is over. If ever I was married, I should certainly try to forget the fact.
I have no doubt about that, dear Alfie. The divorce court was specially invented for those whose memories are so curiously constituted.
Please don't touch the cucumber sandwiches. They are ordered especially for Aunt Augusta. Have some bread and butter. The bread and butter is for Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn is devoted to bread and butter.
A very good bread and butter it is too.
My dear boy, you need not eat it as if you were going to eat it all. You behave as if you are married to her already. You are not married to her already. And I don't think you ever will be.
Why on earth do you say that?
In the first place, girls never marry when they flirt with girls don't think it right.
Oh, that's nonsense.
It isn't. It is a great truth. It accounts for the extraordinary number of bachelors one sees all over the place. In the second place, I will give my consent.
Your consent?
My dear boy, Gwendolyn is my first cousin, and before I allow you to marry her, you will have to clear up the whole question of Cecily.
Cecily? What on earth do you mean, Algie, by Cecily? I don't know anyone of that name.
Bring me the cigarette case Mr. Worthy left in the dining room last time he was here. Yes.
You mean to say you've had my cigarette case this whole time? I wish to goodness you'd let me know. I've been writing frantic letters to Scotland Yard about it, and I was there merely offering a large reward.
Well, I wish you would offer one. I happen to be more than usually hard up.
There's no point in offering a large reward now that the thing is found.
I think that was rather needy, Ernest. I mustn't say. However, it makes no matter, for now that I look at the inscription inside, I find that the thing isn't yours after all.
Of course it is mine. You've seen me with it 100 times. And you've no right to read what is written inside. It is a very ungentlemanly thing to leave one's private cigarette case.
Oh, it is perfectly absurd to have a hard and fast rule about what one should read and about what one shouldn't. More than half of modern culture depends on what one shouldn't read.
Yes, I have no doubt about that, dear Algie. But I don't propose to discuss modern culture with you. It isn't the sort of thing one should discuss in private. I simply want my cigarette case back.
Yes, but this isn't your cigarette case. This cigarette case is a present from someone of the name of Cecily, and you have said that you didn't know anyone of that name.
Well, if you must know, Cecily happens to be my aunt.
Your aunt?
Yes, charming old lady she is too, who lives in Tunbridge Wells. Just get it back to me, Algie.
But why does she call herself Little Cecily if she's your aunt and lives at Tunbridge Wells? From Little Cecily, good fondest love.
My dear friend, what on earth is there in that? Some aunts are tall, some aunts are not so tall. It would be a matter that an aunt may be allowed to decide for herself. You seem to think that every aunt should be exactly like your aunt. That's absurd.
Yes, but why does your aunt call you her uncle? From Little Cecily, with her fondest love, to her dear Uncle Jack. There is no objection, I admit, to an aunt being a small aunt, but why an aunt, no matter what her size may be, should call her own nephew her uncle, I can't quite make out. Besides, your name isn't Jack, it is Ernest.
It isn't Ernest. It's Jack.
You have always told me it's Ernest. You have introduced you to everyone as Ernest. You look as if your name is Ernest. You are the most earnest person whom I've ever met in my life. It is perfectly absurd your saying your name isn't Ernest. It's on your card. Here is one of them. Mr. Ernest Worthy, B4, the Albany. I'll keep this as proof that your name is Ernest if ever you attempt to deny it to me or to Gwendolyn or to anyone else.
Well, my name is Ernest in town and Jack in the country. And that cigarette case was given to me in the country.
Yes, but that does not account for the fact that your small Aunt Cecily, who lives at Tunbridge Wells, calls you her dear uncle. Come, old boy, you would much better have the whole thing out at once.
My dear Algie, you talk exactly as if you were a dentist. It is very vulgar to
learned in secret Bunburyist, and I am quite sure of it now.
Bunburyist? What on earth do you mean by Bunburyist?
I'll reveal to you the meaning of that incomparable expression as soon as you are kind enough to inform me why you are earnest in town and gentle in the country.
Well, produce my cigarette case first.
Here it is. Now, produce your explanation. Pray make it improbable.
There is nothing improbable about my explanation at all. In fact, it is perfectly ordinary. Old Mr. Thomas Cardew, who adopted me when I was a little boy, made me in his will guardian to his granddaughter, Miss Cecily Cardew, who lives at my place in the country, under the charge of our admirable governess in this prison.
Where is that place in the country, by the way?
That has nothing to do, dear boy. We're not going to be invited. However, I may tell you candidly that the place is not in Shropshire.
I suspected that, my dear fellow. I've bungered all over Shropshire on 2 separate occasions. Now, go on, tell me, why are you earnest in town and checking the country?
My dear friend, I don't know whether you'll be able to understand my real motives. You are hardly serious enough. When one is placed in the position of guardian, one has to adopt a very high moral tone on all subjects. It is one's duty to do so. And as a high moral tone can be hardly said to conduce very much to either one's health or one's happiness, in order to get up to town, I have always pretended to have a younger brother who lives in the town and gets into those dreadful scrapes. That, my dear friend, is the whole truth, pure and simple.
The truth is rarely pure and never simple. Modern life can be very tedious if it were either, and modern literature a complete impossibility.
I wouldn't be at all that then.
Literary criticism is not your forte, my dear boy. Don't try it. You can leave that to the people who have not at university. They do it so well in the daily paper. What you are is a Bunburyist. You are a very advanced Bunburyist. One of the most advanced Bunburyists I know.
What on earth do you mean by Bunburyist?
You have invented a very useful younger brother called Ernest, in order that you may be able to come to town whenever you choose. I have invented a perfectly invaluable permanent English called Bunbury, in order that I may be able to go down to town whenever I feel so. Bunbury is perfectly invaluable. In fact, if it wasn't for Bunbury's extraordinarily bad health, I wouldn't be able to dine with you tonight at Lewis's.
I haven't asked you to dine with me anywhere tonight.
I know. You are absurdly careless about sending invitations. It is perfectly foolish of you. Nothing annoys people so much as not receiving invitations. Now I want to make up this arrangement to have with Aunt Augusta.
You had much better dine with your Aunt Augusta.
I have the smallest intention of doing anything of the kind. In the first place, I dine there on Monday, and once a week is quite enough to dine with one's own relations. In the second place, she will place me next to Mary Farquhar, who always flirts with her husband again across the dinner table, which is not very pleasant. Indeed, it is not even decent. Besides, now that I know you to be confirmed Bunbury's, I want to talk to you all about Bunbury. I want to tell you the rules.
Not a Bunburyist at all. If Gwendolyn should accept me, I'm going to kill my brother. In fact, I think I'll do that in any case. Cecily has grown far too interested in him. It is rather a bore. So I'm going to get rid of him. And I strongly advise you to do the same with your ignorant friend with a weird name.
Nothing will induce me to part with Bunbury. Indeed, if you ever get married, which seems to me extremely problematic, you will be very glad to know Bunbury. A man who marries without knowing Bunbury is a very tedious time of it.
Nonsense.
It isn't.
If I married Gwendolyn, and she's the only girl in the world that I would ever love, I certainly wouldn't want to know Bunbury.
And your wife will. You don't seem to realize that in married life, 3 is something and 2 is none.
That, my dear friend, is the theory that the corrupt French genre has been propounding for the last 50 years.
Yes, and that the happy English show is preaching half the time.
Don't be a cynic. It is perfectly easy to be cynical.
Ah, that must be Aunt Augusta. Only relatives or creditors ever bring in that Wagnerian manner. Now, if I get you out of the way for 10 minutes in order that you might have the opportunity for proposing to Gwendolyn, may I dine with you tonight at Willis's?
Oh, sure, I suppose.
But you must be serious about it. I hate people who are not serious about their meals. It's so shallow of them. good heavens! Lay, why are there no cucumber sandwiches? I ordered them especially.
There are no cucumbers at the market today, sir. I went down twice.
No cucumbers?
No, sir. Not even for money.
That will do then, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I am greatly distressed, Augusta, at there being no cucumbers, not even for ready money.
It really makes me wonder, Elton, I had some hundreds with Lady Arby, who seems to me to be living entirely for pleasure now.
I hear her hair has turned bright gold from grief.
It certainly has changed its colour, and what cause I, of course, cannot say. I've quite a treat for you tonight, Algernon. I'm here to seat you next to Lady Farquhar. She's such a nice woman and so attentive to her. She's delightful to watch.
I'm afraid, Augusta, that I shall not be able to express the pleasures of dining with you tonight.
I hope, Algernon, it would put my table completely out. Your uncle would have to down the stairs. Fortunately, he is accustomed to that.
It was a great walk, and I need hardly say a terrible disappointment to me. But the fact is, I just had a telegram to say that my poor friend Bunbury is not feeling very well. They seem to think I should be with him.
It is strange, this Mr. Bunbury seems to suffer from curiously bad health.
Yes. Poor Bunbury is a dreadful invalid.
Well, it seems to me high time this Mr. Bunbury make up his mind whether he was going to live or to die. This shilly-shally of the question is quite absurd. Written by any way of modern sympathy with injury. Now consider it morbid. Illness of any kind is not going to be encouraged with others. Health is the primary duty of life. I would be much obliged if you would ask this Mr. Bunbury to be kind enough not to have a relapse on Saturdays. I rely on you to arrange my music for me. It is my last reception, and one wants something that will encourage conversation, particularly at the end of the season when everyone has said whatever it is they needed to say, which in most cases was probably not much.
I'll speak to Bunbury, Augusta, if he's still conscious. But I think I can promise he will be all right by Saturday. Of course, the music is a great utility. If one plays good music, people don't listen. And if one plays bad music, people don't talk. However, if you will kindly come to the next room, I'll run over the program I've drawn up.
Thank you, Algernon. It is very thoughtful of you. I'm sure the program will be delightful, epic for your explanations. French songs are not possibly there. People always seem to think they are improper, and I will look shocked, which is vulgar, or laugh, which is worse. But German sounds to me a very respectful language, and indeed, I believe it is so. Gwendolyn, you will accompany me? Certainly, come on.
Charming day, it's been in Fairfax.
Pray, don't talk to me about the weather, Mr. Worthing. Whenever people talk to me about the weather, I always feel certain that they mean something else. And that makes me so nervous.
I do mean something else.
I thought so. In fact, I'm never wrong.
And I would like to be allowed to take advantage of Lady Bracknell's temporary absence.
I would certainly advise you to do so. Mamma has a way of coming back suddenly to the room that I've often had to speak to her about.
Miss Fairfax, ever since I met you, I've admired you more than any other girl I've ever met since I've met you.
Yes, I am certainly very well aware of the fact, and I often wish that in public, at any rate, you had been more demonstrative. For me, you have always had an irresistible fascination. Even before I met you, I was far from indifferent to you. We live, as I hope you know, Mr. Worthing, in an age of ideals. The fact is constantly mentioned in the more expensive monthly magazines, and has reached the provincial pulpits I am told, and my ideal has always been to love someone of the name of Ernest. There is something in that name that inspires absolute confidence. The moment Algernon first mentioned to me that he had a friend called Ernest, I knew I was destined to love you.
You really love me, Gwendolyn.
Passionately.
Oh, darling, how happy you made me.
My own Ernest.
But you don't mean to say that you couldn't love me if I knew it wasn't Ernest?
But your name is Ernest.
Yes, I know it is, but suppose it was something else. Do you mean to say that you couldn't love me then?
Ah, that is clearly a metaphysical speculation. And like most metaphysical speculations, It does not thrill, produces absolutely no vibrations. I have known several jacks, and they all, without exception, were more than usually plain. Besides, Jack is a notorious domesticity for John, and I pity any woman who was married to a man called John. She would probably never be allowed to know the entrancing pleasure of a single moment's solitude. The only really safe name is Ernest.
Well, I must get christened at once. I mean, we must get married at once.
It's working. But you haven't proposed to me yet. Nothing has been said at all about marriage. The subject is not even being touched on.
Well, may I propose to you now?
It could be an ample opportunity.
Gwendolyn?
Yes, Mr. Worthing? What have you got to say to me?
You know what I've got to say to you.
Yes, but you do.
Gwendolyn, will you marry me?
Of course I will, darling. How long you have been about it. I'm afraid you have had very little experience in how to propose.
Oh, my own one. I've never loved anyone in the world but you.
Yes, but men often propose a practice I know my brother Gerald does. All my girlfriends tell me so. What wonderfully blue eyes you have, Ernest. They are quite blue. I hope you will always look at me just like that, especially when there are other people present.
Mr. Worthing, rise, sir, from this semi-recumbent posture. It is most indecorous.
Papa! I'm not paying you to retire. This is no place for you. Besides, Mr. Worthing is not quite finished yet.
Finish what, may I ask?
I am engaged to Mr. Worthing, Mamma.
Pardon me, you are not engaged to anyone. When you do become engaged to someone, either I or your father, should his health permit him, will inform you of the fact. An engagement should come when the reveal is a surprise, pleasant or unpleasant as the case may be. It is hardly imagined that she could be allowed to arrange for herself. And now I have a few questions to put to you, Mr. Worthing. While I am making these inquiries, you Gwendolyn will wait for me below in the carriage.
Mamma!
In the carriage, Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn, in the carriage. You can take a seat, Mr. Worthing.
Thank you, Lady Bracknell, but I prefer standing.
I feel bound to tell you that you are not down on my list of eligible young men, although I share the same list as the Duchess of Morton has. We work together, in fact. However, I am quite ready to enter your name should your answers be their really affectionate mother requires. Do you smoke?
Well, yes, I must admit, I smoke.
I'm glad to hear it. I should always have an occupation of some kind. There are far too many idle men in London as it is. How old are you?
29.
A very good age to be married at. I've always been of the opinion that a man who desires to get married should know either everything or nothing. Which do you know?
I know nothing, Lady Bracknell.
I'm pleased to hear it. Anything that happens is natural ignorance. Ignorance is like a delicate exotic fruit. Touch it and the bloom is gone. The whole theory of modern education is very in itself. Fortunately, in England at any rate, education produces no effect whatsoever. If it did, it would prove serious danger to the upper classes and probably lead to acts of violence in Grosvenor Square. What is your income?
Between 7,000 and 8,000 a year.
No investments.
Investments chiefly.
It is satisfactory.
I own a house in the country, with some land attached to it, of course. About 1,500 acres, but I don't depend on that for my real income. In fact, as far as I can make out, the poachers are really the only people who make anything out of it.
A country house, something better as well, to the point you can feel afterwards. You have a townhouse, I hope. A girl with a simple, unspoiled nature like Gwendolyn could hardly be expected to reside in the country.
I own a house in Grosvenor Square, but it is not by the year to Lady Blossom. Of course, I can get back any time I like, at 6 months' notice.
Lady Blossom? I don't know her.
She goes about very little. She is a lady considerably advanced in years.
Nowadays, that is no guarantee of respectability of character. What's the number in Grosvenor Square?
149?
Oh, the unfashionable son. I thought there was something. However, that could easily be altered.
Do you mean the fashion on the side?
If necessary, I presume. And do your politics.
I'm afraid I really have none. I am a liberal unionist.
Countess Tories. They dine in Portsmouth. Come in the evening, at any rate. Now, to minor matters. Are your parents living?
I have lost both my parents.
Both. To lose one parent, Mr. Worthing, may be regarded as a misfortune. To lose both looks to me like carelessness. Who was your father? He was evidently a man of somewhere. Was he born into a radical people's called a pillar of commerce, or did he rise from the ranks of aristocracy?
No, I'm afraid I really don't know. I'm afraid I really don't know. The fact is, Lady Bracknell, I said I had lost both of my parents. It would be nearer the truth to say my parents seem to have lost me. I was found. Yes, the late Mr. Thomas Cardew. He was a gentleman of a very kind and generous disposition. He found me and gave me the last name of Worthing because he happened to have a first-class ticket for Worthing in his pocket at the time. Worthing is a place in Sussex. It's a seaside resort.
And where did the charitable gentleman who had the first class ticket to the seaside resort find you?
In a handbag.
A handbag!
Yes, a black, large, leather, ordinary handbag with handles to it. It was a very ordinary handbag, in fact.
In what locality did this James or Thomas Cardew come across this ordinary handbag?
The cloakroom at Victoria Station.
The cloakroom at Victoria Station.
Yes, the Brighton line.
The line is irritating. Mr. Worthing, I confess I feel somewhat bewildered by what you have just told me. To be born or at any rate bred in a handbag, whether it had handles or not, seems to me to display a contempt for the ordinary decencies of family life, which reminds one of the worst excesses of the French Revolution. And I presume you know what that unfortunate movement led to. As for the particular locality in which the handbag was found, a cloakroom at a railway station might serve to consider social indiscretion, but it could hardly be regarded as an assured basis for a recognized position in good society.
Well, may I ask you then what you would advise me to do? I need hardly say anything in the world to ensure Gwendolyn's happiness.
I would strongly advise you, Mr. Worthing, to try and acquire some relations and make a definite effort to produce one parent of either sex before the season is quite over.
Well, I don't see how I could possibly manage to do that. I could produce a handbag at any moment if you like. Have it at my home in the cloakroom. I really think that should satisfy you, Lady Bracknell.
Me, sir? What is it to do with me? You can hardly imagine that I, Lord Bracknell, would dream of allowing our only daughter, a girl brought up with the utmost care, to marry into a cloakroom and form an alliance with a parson. Good morning, Mr. Worthing.
Good morning. Don't sing that gossip tune, Algie. How young you are.
Didn't it go off all right, old boy? You don't mean to say what she refused you. I notice the way she has. She's always refusing people. I think it is most in the nature of her.
Oh, Gwendolyn is right as a trick. As far as she is concerned, we are engaged. It is her mother that is perfectly unbearable. I've never met such a gorgon. I don't even know what a gorgon is like, but I am certain that Lady Bracknell is one. In any case, she is a monster. A monster without being a myth, which is rather unfair. Pardon me, Algie. I suppose I shouldn't talk about your own aunt that way in front of you.
My dear boy, relations are simply a tedious kind of people who haven't got thorough notice knowledge of how to live, nor the smallest instinct about when to die.
That's nonsense.
It isn't.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you about the fact. Who always want to argue about everything?
That is exactly what things were originally made for.
Upon my word, sound like a mother in about, what, I'd say 50 years or so?
All women become like their mothers. That's their tragedy. No man does. That's his.
Is that clever?
It is perfectly phrased, and quite as true as any observation in civilized life should be.
I'm sick to death of cleverness. All these clever people nowadays, you can't go anywhere without running into someone clever. I sure wish we had at least a few fools left.
We have.
Oh, I should extremely like to meet them. What do they talk about?
The fools like the clever people, of course.
What fools?
By the way, did you tell Gwendolyn the truth about your being earnest in town and Jack in the country?
Ah, the truth isn't the sort of thing one tells to a nice, sweet, innocent girl like that.
And what about your brother? What about the profligate Ernest?
By the end of the week, I shall have got rid of him. I'll say he died in Paris of apoplexy. Lots of people die in Paris of apoplexy quite suddenly, don't they?
Yes, but it's hereditary. It's the sort of thing that runs in families. You'd much better say severe chill.
And you were sure a severe chill is not hereditary or anything?
Of course it is.
Very well then. My poor brother Ernest was carried off suddenly in Paris by a severe chill. That gets rid of him.
But I thought you had said that Miss Carty was a little too much interested in him. Won't you feel his loss a good deal?
No, Cecily's not a silly, romantic girl. She's got a capital appetite. She goes on long walks, and she doesn't pay attention at all to her classes.
I should like to see Cecily.
I would take very good care, you never do. She is excessively pretty, and she is only 18.
Have you told Gwendolyn yet that you have an excessively pretty ward who is only just 18?
One doesn't blurt these things out to people. Cecily and Gwendolyn are destined to become great friends. I'll bet anything you like that within half an hour after they met, they will be calling each other sisters.
Women only call each other that after they tell each other a lot of other things first. But if you want to get a good deal of this, you really got to go and dress. Do you know it is nearly 7?
Ah, it is always nearly 7.
Well, I'm hungry.
I never knew you were.
What shall we do after dinner? Let us go to the theatre.
Ah, no, I hate this.
Well, let us go to the club.
No, I hate talking.
Well, we might talk about the Empire at 10.
No, I hate walking around and looking at things. It's so silly.
Well, what shall we do?
Nothing.
She's often hard work doing nothing. However, I don't mind hard work where there is no definite object.
Miss Fairfax,
Wait a minute, upon my word.
Algie, kindly turn your back. I have something very particular to say to Mrs. Worthing.
Really, Gwendolyn, I don't think I can allow this at all.
Gwendolyn, darling.
Ernest,
We may never be married. From the expression of Ma's face, I bear conviction.
you parents nowadays pay regard to what the children say to them. The old-fashioned respect for the young is fast dying out. Whatever influence I ever had with Mamma, I must set free. Although she may prevent us from being man and wife, and I may marry someone else, and very often, nothing that she could possibly do can alter my eternal devotion to you.
Dear Gwendolyn.
The story of your romantic origin, as related to me by Mamma, with unpleasing comments, has naturally disturbed the deeper fibers of my nature. Your Christian name has an irresistible fascination. The simplicity of your character makes you exquisitely incomprehensible to me. Your town address at Albany I have. What is your address in the country?
The Manor House, Woolton, Hertfordshire.
There is a good postal service, I suppose. It may be necessary to do something desperate. That, of course, will require serious consideration. I will communicate with you daily.
I don't know.
How long will you remain in town?
Till Monday.
Good. Algie, you may turn around now.
Thanks, I've turned around already.
You may also bring the...
You will let me see to your carriage, my darling?
Certainly.
I will see Miss Fairfax out.
Yes, sir.
A glass of sherry, Lane.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow, Lane, I'm going Bunbury.
Yes, sir.
You can put up all my dress coats and smoking jackets and all the Bunbury jackets.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow, Lane, I hope will be a perfect day.
It never is, sir.
Lane, you are a perfect pessimist.
I do my best to give satisfaction, sir.
There's a sensible, intellectual girl, the only girl I ever cared for in my life. What on earth are you so amused at?
Oh, I'm just a little anxious about poor Bunbury soul.
If you don't take care, your friend Bunbury will get you into a serious scrape someday.
I love scrapes. They're the only things that are never serious.
Nonsense. You're always talking nonsense.
Nobody ever does.
Intermission. Thank you.
Alright, where do we go? This one? Let's go down. Miss Eldridge.
Is it the?
You know, shows yeah.
You didn't know.
super good. I can't remember the last time I've had. This isn't.
Cecily, Cecily, surely such utilitarian occupation as the watering of flowers is rather more than duty than yours, especially to non-intellectual pleasures like you. Your German grammar is on the table. Very open and beautiful. We will repeat yesterday's lesson.
But I don't like German. It is all a becoming language. I've done perfectly well then, quite plain after my German lesson.
Child, you know how anxious your guardian is that you should improve yourself in every way. He laid particular stress on German as he received the town today. Indeed, he always laid stress on the German when he received the town.
Dear Uncle Jack is so very serious. Sometimes he's so serious I don't think he'd be quite well.
Your guardian enjoys the best of health, and his gravity of demeanor is especially to be commended in one so comparatively heavy scenes. I know no one who has a higher sense of duty and responsibility.
I suppose that's why he often was a little bored when we were together.
Cecily, I'm surprised at you. Mr. Worthing has many troubles in his life. I can marry him in triviality would be out of place in this conversation. You must remember his constant anxiety about that unfortunate young man, his brother.
I wish Uncle Jack would allow that unfortunate young man and his brother to come down here sometime. He might have a good influence over him in his prison. I'm sure certainly you would. You know, German, geology, things of that kind influence a man so very much.
I am not in favor of this modern way of turning bad people into good people at a moment's notice. As a man sows, so let him reap. You must put away your diary, Cecily. I really don't see why you should keep a diary at all.
I keep a diary. If I did not keep a diary, I should probably forget all about. I should probably forget all the wonderful secrets of my life.
Memory, my dear Cecily, is the diary we all keep about with us.
Yes, but it usually chronicles the things that have never happened or couldn't possibly have happened. I also believe that memory is responsible for all the free-flowing novels of the living library.
Not slightly of a 3-volume novel, Cecily. I wrote one myself in early days.
Did you really disclose the prison? How wonderfully clever you are. I hope it did not happen. I do not like knowing that it happened. It depressed me so very much.
The good ended happily, and the bad unhappily. That is what fiction means.
I suppose so, but that isn't fair. Was the novel ever published?
Alas, no. The manuscript unfortunately was abandoned. I use the word with a sense of loss when it's laid. To your work, child, these speculations are profitless.
Did I see Dr. Tolstoy coming from
Dr. Tolstoy, this is indeed a pleasure.
And how are we this morning? Mr. Zim, I trust you're well.
Well, Miss President, just a complaint with a slight headache. I think we prefer so much to have a Dr. Tolstoy with Dr. Tolstoy.
Cecily, I've not mentioned anything about a headache.
No, I know that, Miss President, that I've often seen people that have a headache. Indeed, I was thinking about that and not about my German lesson.
I hope, Cecily, you're not intensive.
Oh, I'm afraid I am.
It's a strain. If I were Miss Britain's people, I would hang with my roots. I spoke only metaphorically. A metaphor drawn from these. Mr. Worthing, I suppose that returns to town yet?
We did not expect it until Monday afternoon.
Yes, he usually likes to spend his Sundays in London. He's not one of those whose sole aim is to join him, as by all accounts that unfortunate young man his brother seems to be. But I must not disturb Algeria or people any longer.
Algeria, my name is Aphrodite. Did you mean to say Aphrodite, Doctor?
Yes, Aphrodite. I shall not disturb Aphrodite or people any longer.
Aphrodite, my name is Letitia.
And mere classical is merely drawn from taking off. I'll see you both know that at evening.
I think you, Doctor. I will have a stroll with you. I find I have a headache after all, and what am I doing?
With pleasure, Mr. With pleasure. My regards for our skills with that.
That would be delightful. Cecily, will read your principal economy in my absence. The chapter on the fall group you may wait. It is somewhat too sensational. Even these metallic problems have their melodramatic side.
Hard Mr. Ernest Worthing B. for the Albany. Uncle Jack's brother. Did you let him know Mr. Worthing was in town?
Yes, sir. He seems very much disappointed. And I took him to the garden. He said he was anxious to speak to you for a moment.
Ask him to come out here. And I suppose you both talked to the housekeeper on the room for it.
Yes, miss.
I have never met a really, truly wicked person before. I'm rather frightened. I'm afraid he look just like everyone else. He does!
You are my little cousin Cecily, I'm sure.
Well, it's a strange mistake. I did not little. In fact, I believe I'm unusually tall for my age. But I am your cousin Cecily. And you, I see from your card, are Uncle Jack's brother. My cousin Ernest. My wicked cousin Ernest.
Oh, I'm not really wicked. You mustn't claim wicked, cousin Cecily.
If you are not, then you have certainly been deceiving us all in a very inexcusable manner. I hope you have not been leading a double life, pretending to be wicked and being really good all the time. That would be hypocrisy.
Oh, I have been rather reckless.
I'm so glad to hear.
In fact, now that you mention the subject, I have been very proud of my own small way.
I don't think you should be so proud of that, though I'm sure it's been very easy.
It is much pleasanter being here with you.
I don't understand where you're here at all. Uncle Jack will be back till Monday afternoon.
That is a great disappointment to me. I'm obliged to go up for the first train Monday morning. I have a business appointment I'm anxious to miss.
Couldn't you visit anywhere but in London?
No, the appointment is in London.
Well, I, of course, know the importance of not keeping a business engagement if one wants to retain any sense of the things you like. There's something you should wait to Uncle Jack first. I don't want to speak with you about your emigrating.
About what?
Your emigrating. He's gone off to buy your outfit.
I certainly would let Jack buy my outfit. He has no taste in neckties at all.
I don't think you will require the next time. Uncle Jack has moved to Australia.
Australia? I'd sooner die.
Well, on dinner with Dinner, he said that you would have to choose between this world, the next world, and Australia.
Well, because I've heard of Australia and the next world are not particularly encouraging. This world is good enough for me, cousin Cecily.
Yes, sir, you couldn't have fit.
Oh, I'm afraid I'm not that. That is why I want you to reform me. You might make it your mission, if you don't mind, cousin Cecily.
I'm afraid I don't have time this afternoon.
Then would you mind I reforming myself this afternoon?
That is rather quixotic of you, but I think you should try.
I will. I feel better already.
Little you bit less.
That's because I'm hungry.
Oh, how thoughtless of me. I should have remembered that when one is going to lead an entirely new life, one requires regular and wholesome meals. Won't you come in?
Yes, thank you. Might I have a buttonhole first? I never had any appetite for a buttonhole first.
A yellow rose?
I'd sooner have a pink rose.
Why?
Because you, cousin Cecily, are like a pink rose.
I don't think you're quite right to talk to me like that. Miss Prison never says such things to me.
The Miss Prism is a short-sighted old lady. You are the prettiest girl I ever saw.
Miss Prison says that all of us are smelly.
There is none every sensible man would like to be called him.
I think the cat has something in mind. I wouldn't know what to talk to him about.
You were too much in love with her, Dr. Chasuble. She get married.
The precept as well as the practice of the permanent church is distinctly against that.
That is obviously the reason why the primitive church is not lasted up to the present day. And you do not seem to realize, Doctor, that I persistently remaining single, and then converts himself into a permanent public temptation. Men should be more careful. This very celibacy is to get vessels astray.
But is a man not really attracted from marriage?
No married man is ever attracted except to his wife.
And often I'm told about it to her.
That is the intellectual sympathies of the woman. Maturity can be depended on, ripeness can be trusted. No women are free. I spoke horticulturally. My metaphors are from fruits, but where's Cecily?
Perhaps she followed us to school.
Mr. Worthing,
Mr. Worthing.
this isn't a surprise. You did not talk to you on Monday afternoon.
I have arrived sooner than I expected. Dr. Chasuble, I hope you are well.
And dear Mr. Worthing, I trusted God before it stopped working some terrible times.
My brother.
More shameful deaths and extravagance.
Still leading a life of pleasure.
Dead.
Your brother Ernest dead.
Quite dead.
I trust you will profit by it.
Mr. Worthing, I offer you my sincere condolences. At least you have the consolation of knowing that you are always the most generous and forgiving your brothers.
Oh, poor Ernest. He had many faults, but it is a sad blow.
Very sad blow indeed. Were you with him that day?
No, he died abroad in
You would no doubt wish me to make some slight allusion to this tragic domestic affliction at Sunday. My sermon on the meaning of man and wilderness can be adapted to almost any occasion, joyful or in the present case, distressing. I have preached it at harvest celebrations, christenings, confirmations, and on days of humiliation and feast days.
That reminds me. You mentioned christenings, Dr. Charles. I suppose you know how to christen, all right? Well, you are continually christening, I suppose.
It is our to say one of the rector's most constant duties in this parish. I have often spoken with the poorer classes on the subject. They don't seem to know what thrift is.
Is there a particular infant in whom you're interested, Mr. Worthing? Your brother, I believe, unmarried, was he not?
Oh, yes.
People who live entirely for pleasure usually are.
But it is not for any particular infants, Dr. Charles. I'm quite fond of children. No, I would like to be christened myself this afternoon if you have nothing better to do.
But surely, Mr. Worthing, you've already been christened already.
I have no memory about it.
Do you have any great doubts on the subject?
I certainly intend to have. Of course, I don't know if the thing would bother you in any way, or if you think I'm a little too old now.
Not too tall, the sprinkling and the immersion of the belt, the perfectly canonical practice.
Immersion?
You need have no apprehension. Sprinkling is all that is necessary, or I think advisable. Our weather is so changeable. At what hour would you want the ceremony to be performed?
Oh, I might trot around about 5 if that would do.
Perfectly. I have 2 similar ceremonies to perform at the time. A case of twins that has occurred in one of the outlying cottages on your own estate. Poor Jenkins the carver, a most hard-working man.
I don't want to be christened with other babies. It seems childish. Would half past 5 do?
Admirably. And now, dear Mr. Worthing, I will not intrude any longer into your house of sorrow. I only merely beg that you do not be too much bowed down by grief. What seems to us bitter trials are often blessings in disguise.
It seems to me a blessing of an extremely obvious kind.
Uncle Jack, I'm so pleased to see that you're back. Oh, what a great clothes you've got on. You're going cheap, sir.
Cecily,
My child.
But what is the matter, Uncle Jack? Do look happy. You look as if you've got a toothache. You look as if you've got a toothache. But I've got a surprise for you. Who do you think is in the dining room? Your brother.
Who?
Your brother Ernest. He came in an hour ago.
What nonsense! I haven't got a brother.
Don't say that, Uncle Jack. How badly can behave to you in the past? You surely aren't as heartless as to disown him. I'll tell him to come out. You will shake hands and lunch with that.
These are very joyful tidings.
after being older resigned was lost, sudden returns to being really distressing.
My brother is in the dining room. I don't know what it all means. I think this is absurd. Oh, goodness.
I've come down from town to tell you that I'm very sorry for all the trouble I've given you, and that I intend to lead a better life in the future.
Uncle Jack, you're not going to refuse your own brother's hand.
Nothing will induce me to take his hand. I think it's going down here perfectly disgraceful. He knows perfectly well why.
Don't say that, Uncle Jack. There must be
scoundrel. Algie, you've got to get out of this place as soon as possible. I won't allow any bunkering here.
Mr. Otis came from the next year, sir. I suppose that's all right?
What?
Mr. Otis is nothing, sir. I love Captain who lives in the room next to you now.
His luggage?
Yes, sir. He's working on the dressing case, 2 hat boxes, and a large luncheon basket.
I'm afraid I can't see one of the week this time.
Marion, what should the dog cart at once? Mr. Ernest has been suddenly called back to town.
Yes, sir.
What a cheerful lie you are, Jack. I haven't been called back to town at all.
Yes, you
I
have.
haven't had anyone call me.
Your duty as a gentleman calls you back to town.
My duty as a gentleman has never once interfered with my pleasures in the smallest degree.
I can quite understand.
Well, Cecily is a darling.
You are not to talk of Miss Carvey that way. I don't like it.
Well, I don't like your clothes. You look perfectly ridiculous in them. Why on earth have you all been changed? It's perfectly childish to be in deep mourning for a man who's actually staying for a whole week with you in your house as a guest. Call it grotesque.
You are not staying with me for a week as a guest or anything of the sort. You have got to leave by the 4:05 train.
Well, I certainly won't leave you so long as we're at mourning. It would be most unfriendly. If I were in mourning, you would stay with me, I suppose. I should think it very unfriendly if you didn't.
Well, will you go fetching my clothes?
Yes, if you're not too long. I never saw anyone take so long to dress. With such little result.
Well, that's better than being always overdressed as you are.
If I'm occasionally a little overdressed, I make up for it by being immensely overeducated.
Your vanity is ridiculous. Your conduct an outrage, and your presence here in my garden utterly absurd. However, you've got to leave by the 4:05, and I hope you have a pleasant journey back to town. This bunkering, as you call it, has not been a great success for you.
I think it has been a great success. I'm in love with Cecily, and that is everything. But I must see you before I go and make arrangements for another bunbury. Oh, there she is.
Oh, I'm going to get back to Waldorf Roses at the room with Uncle Jack.
He's going to order the dog cart for me.
Is he going to take you for a nice drive?
He's going to send me away.
Then we've got to part.
I'm afraid so. It is a very painful parting.
It's always painful to part with people that we can only share the brief space of time with. The absence of old friends we can endure with equanimity. But even momentary separation from anyone one has just been introduced with is simply embarrassing.
Thank you.
The dog cart is at the door, sir.
It can be some minutes, 5 minutes.
I hope, Cecily, I should not offend you if I say quite frankly and openly that you seem to me to be in every way the visible personification of absolute perfection.
Your frankness is increased credit on us. If you allow me, I will copy your remarks into a diary.
Do you really keep a diary? I'd give anything to see it. May I?
Oh no, it is simply a young girl's record of her thoughts and impressions, and consequently meant for publication. When it comes out in volume form, I hope for your copy. But great Ernest, don't stop. I love taking from dictation. I have reached absolute perfection. I'm quite ready for more. We can go on now. Good call, Ernest. When one is dictating, one should always speak fluently and not talk. Besides, I don't know how to spell a call.
Cecily, from the moment I laid eyes on your wonderful, incomparable beauty, I have dared to love you wildly, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly.
I don't think you should say that you love me wildly, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly. Hopelessly doesn't make much sense, does it?
Cecily,
The dog cart is waiting, sir.
tell her to come round next week at the same hour.
Uncle Jack was very much annoyed if we were staying until next week at the same hour.
I don't care about Uncle Jack. I don't care for anyone in the whole world but you. I love you, Cecily. You will marry me, won't you?
Silly boy, have you been engaged for 3 months?
For the last 3 months?
Yes, only exactly 3 months on Thursday.
But how did we become engaged?
Well, when Uncle Jack first confessed to us that he had a younger brother who was very wicked and bad, you, of course, were the chief topic of conversation between myself and Miss Prism. And of course, a man who is much talked about is always very attractive. One feels there must be something in him after all. I dare say it was foolish of me, but I fell in love with you, Ernest.
Darling, and when was the engagement actually settled?
On 14th of February last, worn out by your entire ignorance of my existence, I determined to after a long struggle with myself, I accepted you under this dear tree here. And the next day, I wrote this little ring in your name, and this is the true lover's, this is the bangle with the true lover's knot that I always promised you to wear.
Did I give you this? It's very pretty, isn't it?
Yes, you wonderfully taste this. It's the excuse of always doing for leading such a bad life. And this is the box in which I keep all your dear letters.
My letters. But my own sweet Cecily, I've never written you any letters.
Oh, you need hardly to remind me of that, Venice. I only remember too well that I had to write all your letters for you. I was a great time for you. Something often.
Oh, do that.
Oh no, it made you far too conceited. The three letters you wrote to me after I broke up our engagement are so beautiful, so badly spelled, that I can hardly read them without crying.
Was our engagement ever actually broken off?
Of course it was, on the 22nd of last March. You can see the entry, like, today I broke off my engagement with Alex. I feel it is better to do so. The weather still continues charming.
But why did you break it off? What had I done? I had done nothing at all. Cecily, I am very much hurt indeed if you broke it off, particularly when the weather was so charming.
It would have probably been a really serious engagement if it hadn't been broken off at least once. And besides, I forgave you for the week of that.
What a perfect angel you are, Cecily.
My dear, sweet, loving boy. I hope your heart was matching, doesn't it?
Yes, with a little help from others.
I'm glad to hear.
But you will never break off our engagement again, will you?
I don't think I could now that I actually met you. And besides, there is a question of your name.
Yes, of course.
You must laugh at me, darling. It's always been a girlish dream of mine to love someone whose name is Ernest. There's something in that name that inspires absolute confidence. I could see any poor married woman whose husband is not called Ernest.
But do you mean to say that you could not love me if I had some other name?
The what name?
Oh, any name you like. Algernon, for instance?
But I don't like the name Algernon.
But my dear, sweet, darling, little Cecily, I really don't see why you should reject the name of Algernon. It is not all a bad thing. In fact, it is a rather aristocratic name. Half the chaps who get into the bankruptcy court are called Algernon. But seriously, Cecily, if my name was Algernon, wouldn't you love me?
I might respect you, Ernest. I might admire your character, but I am afraid I shall not be able to give you my undivided attention.
Your character here is, I suppose, well practiced in all the rites and ceremonials of the church.
Oh yes, Dr. Joldsville is the millstone man. He's never written any books. You can imagine how much he knows.
I see at once the most important principle. Our most important business.
Oh,
I shan't be more than half an hour.
considering that we've been engaged since February 14th, and this is the first time that I've met you, I think it's hard for you to leave me for such a long time as 30 minutes. Couldn't you really?
I'll be back in no time.
Thank you, boy. I love this guy so much. I must have to propose to my diary.
I'm scared about called to see Mr. Worthing.
Is Mr. Worthing in his library?
No, miss. Mr. Worthing is over in direction regarding Mr. Temple.
Pray, ask him to come up here. And you can set tea. Miss Fairfax, are we one of the good elderly women that are associated with Uncle Justin and Dr. Clark in London? I don't like women who are interested in Dr. Clark. I think it's so forward.
Fairfax.
Pray, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Cecily Cardew.
Cecily Cardew. What a very sweet name. Something tells me that we were great friends. brought me up to be extremely short-sighted, so do you mind if I'm looking at you through my glasses?
Oh, not at all. I'm quite fond of that.
You are here on a short visit, I suppose?
Oh, no, I live here.
Really? Your mother, no doubt, or some female relative of advanced years, resides here also?
Oh, no, I have no mother. None in fact, any relations.
Indeed.
I have a guardian.
A guardian?
Yes. Yes, with the assistance of this prison, the arduous task of looking after me.
Your guardian?
Yes, I'm Mr. Woodley's ward.
Oh! It is strange he never mentioned to me that he had a ward. How secretive of him. He grows more interesting hourly. I am not sure, however, that the news inspires me with feelings of mixed delight. I am very fond of you, Cecily. I have liked you since I met you, but I am bound to say that now that I know that you are Mr. Worthing's ward, I cannot help expressing the wish that you were, well, just a little bit older than you seem to be, and not quite so very alluring in appearance. In fact, if I may speak candidly.
Really, so. I think whenever one has anything on business to say, we should always be quite timely.
Well, to speak with perfect candor, Cecily, I wish that you were fully 42, and more than usually claim for your age. Ernest has a strong, upright nature. He is the very soul of truth and honor. Disloyalty would be as impossible to him as deception. But even men of the noblest possible moral line character are extremely susceptible to the influence of the physical charms of others. Modern, no less than ancient history, provides us with many most painful examples of what I referred to if it were not so. Indeed, history would be quite unreadable.
I beg your pardon, what did you say? Ernest?
Yes.
Oh, but it's not Mr. Ernest Worthing, my guardian. It's his brother, his elder brother.
I beg your
Cake of bread and butter.
Bread and butter, please. Cake is rare, you see it. The best houses nowadays.
Pamphlets, Miss Fairfax.
You have filled my tea with lumps of sugar, and though I asked most distinctly for bread and butter, you have given me cake. I am known for the gentleness of my disposition and the extraordinary sweetness of my nature, but I warn you, Miss Pardew, you may go too far.
To save my poor, innocent, trusting boy from the machinations of any other girl, there are no lengths which I would not go to.
From the moment I saw you, I distrusted you. I felt that you were false and deceitful. I am never deceived in such matters. My first impressions of people are invariably right.
It seems to me, Miss Fairfax, that I am trespassing on valuable time. No doubt you have many other calls of a similar character to make in the neighborhood.
Ernest! My own Ernest!
Gwendolyn, darling.
Ernest, may I ask if you are engaged to be married to this young lady?
To little Cecily? Of course not. Who would have put such an idea over your little head?
Thank you.
I knew there must be some misunderstanding, Miss Fairfax. The gentleman who is embracing you right now is my guardian, Mr. John Worthing.
I beg your pardon.
This is Uncle Jack.
Jack?
Excuse me, Ernest. Can you ask me the following question? Are you engaged to be married to that young lady?
Of course, my name is Gwendolyn.
Yes, Miss Gwendolyn. I mean, Sir Gwendolyn.
No, what is such an idea in your particular head?
Thank you, you may.
I felt some slight error, Miss Cardew. The gentleman who is now embracing you is my cousin, Mr. Algernon Moncrief.
Algernon Moncrief? Oh. Is your name really Algernon?
I cannot deny it.
Are you really called John?
I could deny it if I liked. I could deny anything if I liked. But my name is John. It has been John for years.
Of course, the position has been practiced on both of us.
What for? Rude incessantly, my sweet girl. Gwendolyn, you will call me sister, will you not?
I should be able to ask the guardian questions.
An admirable idea. Mr. Worthing, there is just one question that I would like to be permitted to put to you. Where is your brother Ernest? We are both engaged to be married to your brother Ernest, so it is of some importance to us to know where your brother Ernest is at present.
Gwendolyn, Cecily, it pains me very much to be forced to speak the truth. It is the first time in my life that I've ever been forced into such a painful position, and I'm really quite inexperienced in doing anything of the kind. However, I may tell you quite candidly that I have no brother Ernest. I have no brother at all. I never had a brother, and I certainly have not the smallest intention of ever having one in the future.
No brother at all.
No,
Had you never a brother of any kind?
never. Not even of any kind.
I am afraid it is quite clear, Miss Cecily, that neither of us is engaged to be married to anyone.
It is not a pleasant position for a young woman to suddenly find herself in, is it?
Let us venture into the house, so we'll hardly come to swear.
No, so cowardly, aren't
This ghastly state of things is what you call bunkering, I suppose.
Yes, and a wonderful buggery it is. One of the most wonderful buggeries I've ever had in my life.
Well, you've no right whatsoever to bunkery here.
That's absurd. One has the right to buggery anywhere one chooses. Every serious bungerist knows that.
Serious bunkerers, good heavens.
Well, one must be serious about something if one wants to have any amusement in life. I happen to be serious about buggery. question if you are serious about any remotest idea, but everything matches fancy. You have such an absolutely trivial nature.
The only small satisfaction I have in this whole wretched business is that your friend Bunbury is quite exploded. Now, you won't be able to run down to the country quite so often as you used to, dear Algie, and a very good thing, too.
Your brother isn't off color, isn't he, dear Jack? You are able to disappear to London quite so frequently as your wicked custom was, and it's not a bad thing either.
And as for your conduct towards Miss Carvey, I must say that your taking of a sweet, innocent young girl like that would be utterly disgraceful, to say nothing of the fact that she is my ward.
I can see no possible defense for your deceiving a clever, brilliant, thoroughly experienced young lady like Miss Fairfax. To say nothing of the fact that she is my cousin.
Lauren? No. I wanted to be married to her. That is all. I love her.
Well, I simply wanted to be engaged to Cecily. I adore her.
There is certainly no chance of your marrying Miss Carvey.
I don't think there's much likelihood of Jack and you, Miss Fairfax, being united.
It is no business of yours.
If it was my business, I wouldn't talk about it. It's very vulgar to talk about one's business. People like stockbrokers do that, and me at dinner parties.
How can you sit there, calmly eating muffins, when we are in this horrible trouble? I can't quite make out. You seem to me to be perfectly harmless.
Well, I can't eat muffins in an agitated manner. The butter would probably get to my cuffs. One should always eat muffins quite calmly. It's the only way to eat them.
I say it is harmless for eating muffins at all, under the circumstances.
When I am in trouble, eating is the only thing that consoles you. Indeed, as anyone who knows me intimately will tell you, I refuse everything except food and drink. At the present moment, I eat muffins because I am not unhappy. Besides, I'm particularly fond of muffins.
Well, that is no right for you to eat them all in that greedy way.
Chuck, I wish you had tea cake. I don't like tea cake.
Good heavens, I suppose man may eat his own muffins in his own garden.
Is it you so perfectly heartless to be eating muffins?
I said it is perfectly heartless of you under the circumstances.
Well, that is quite a different matter. Mine? That may be, but the muffins are the same.
Algernon, I wish to goodness you would go.
You can't possibly ask me to go without my dinner. It's absurd. I would never go without my dinner. Only vegetarians do that. Besides, I just made arrangements with Dr. Chaucer to be christened at 46 unnamed Ernest.
My dear friend, the sooner you stop with that nonsense, the better. I just made arrangements myself with Dr. Chaucer to be christened at 5:30, and I naturally would take the name of Ernest. Gwendolyn would wish it. And I have the perfect right to be christened if I like, and there is certainly no evidence that I have ever been christened at all by anybody. And I should think it extremely improbable that I ever was. And so does Dr. Chaucer. It is entirely different in your case. You've been christened already.
Yes, but I've not been christened for years.
Yes, but you have been christened. That is the important thing.
Quite so I know my constitution can stand it. If you are not quite certain about your ever having been christened, I must say, I think it rather dangerous to venturing on it now. It might make you very unwell. You can hardly have forgotten that someone very closely connected to you was very nearly carried off the street in Paris by a severe chill.
You said for yourself that a severe chill was not hereditary.
It used to be, I know, but I dare say it's now. Science is always making such wonderful improvements and things.
This is nonsense. You're talking nothing but nonsense.
Stop, you are muffins again. I wish you wouldn't. I told you I'm particularly very fond of muffins.
But I ate tea cake.
Why on earth, then, do you allow it to be served up for your guests? What a teasing hospitality.
Algernon, I've already told you to leave. Well, I don't want you here. Why don't you go?
I haven't quite finished my tea. And besides, there are still a few muffins left.
Intermission, they're just doing a scene change. So if you need to stretch your legs, do, but we're going to start in 5 minutes. Thank you.
Is it short one? I know, it's so much fun.
The fact that they did not follow us at once into the house as anyone else would have done seems to me to show that they have some sense of shame there.
They've been eating muffins. That looks like repentance.
They didn't seem to notice us at all. Couldn't you cough? But I haven't spot a cough. They're looking at us.
They're coaching. It's very forward of them.
Let us observe the dignified silence.
Substance is the only thing to do now.
This dignified silence seems to produce an unpleasant effect.
The most distasteful one.
But we will not be the first to be.
Suddenly not.
This is working. That is the one thing I'd like to ask you. Blind. Much depends on your reply.
Gwendolyn, your knowledge is invaluable. Mr. Worthing, kindly answer the following question. Why did you pretend to be my guardian's brother?
In order that I might have the opportunity of meeting you.
This certainly satisfactory explanation is not.
Yes, there, if you can believe it.
I don't. But it doesn't change the absolute beauty of his answer.
True. In that is a great involving style, not sincerity. Mr. Worthing, what explanation can you offer to me for pretending to have a brother? Was it in order that you might have an opportunity of coming up to town to see me as often as possible?
Can you doubt them, Miss Fairfax?
I have the gravest doubts upon the subject, but I intend to crush them. This is not the moment of German skepticism. Why?
The explanations seem to...
Their explanations appear to be quite satisfactory, especially in Mr. Worthing's. That seems to me to have the sound of true depart.
I'm content with what Mr. Montgomery said. His voice alone inspires him with absolute truth.
Then you think we should believe them?
Yes, I mean no.
True. I have taught there are principles at stake that one cannot surrender. Which of us should tell them? Task is not a pleasant one.
Could we not both speak at the same time?
An excellent idea. I nearly always speak at the same time as other people. Will you take turns with me?
Certainly.
Your Christian names are still an insuperable barrier. That is all.
Our Christian names? Is that all? But we're going to be christened this afternoon.
For my sake, you are prepared to do this terrible thing.
I am.
To please me, you're willing to face a spiritual ordeal?
I am.
How absurd to talk of the equality of the sexes. Where questions of self-sacrifice are concerned, men are infinitely beyond us.
We are.
Have moments of physical courage of which we women know absolutely nothing.
Darling,
Darling.
Lady Bracknell.
Oh, goodness.
What does this mean?
Merely that I engaged to marry Mr. Worthing, Mark.
Come here, sit down immediately. Hesitation of any kind is like a bit of decay in blood.
Gwendolyn, Lady Bracknell.
You are nothing of the kind, sir. Now, for God's Algernon, may I ask if it is in this house that your invalid friend, Mr. Bunbury, resides?
Oh, no, Bunbury doesn't live here. Bunbury is somewhere else at present. In fact, Bunbury is dead.
Dead? When did Mr. Bunbury die? His death must have been extremely sudden.
Oh, I killed Bunbury this afternoon, and I thought Bunbury died this afternoon.
What did he die of?
Bunbury? Oh, he was quite exploded.
Exploded? Was he a victim of some revolutionary outrage? I was not aware that this Mr. Bunbury was interested in social legislation.
My dear Auntie Custer, I mean he was found out. The doctors found out that Bunbury could not live. That is what I mean. Bunbury died.
He appears to have had great confidence in the opinion of his physicians. I am glad, however, that he made up his mind at last to some definite course of action and acted with comprehensive advice. Naturally, I knew what rid of this Mr. Bunbury. May I ask, Mr. Whaley, who is that young person whose hand my nephew Algernon is now holding in what seems to me a curiously unnecessary manner?
That lady is Miss Cecily Cardew, my ward.
I'm engaged to be married to Cecily Auntie Custer.
I beg your pardon.
Mr. Moncrief and I are engaged to be married, Lady Bracknell.
I do not know whether there is anything peculiarly exciting in the air in this particular part of Hertfordshire, but the number of engagements that go on seems to be considerably above the proper average which statistics have laid down for our reference. Mr. Welling, is Miss Cardew at all connected with any of the larger railway stations in London? I merely desired information until yesterday. I was not aware that there were any families or persons whose origin was a terminus.
Miss Cecily Cardew is the granddaughter of the late Mr. Thomas Cardew of 149 Belgrave Square, southwest of Gervais Park, Dorking and Surrey, and the Sporting by Scotland.
That is not unsatisfactory. Free address is always inspired confidence, even in tradesmen. But what proof have I of their authenticity?
I have carefully preserved the court guides of the period. They're open to your inspection, Lady Bracknell.
I have no strained error in that publication.
Miss Cardew's family solicitors are Messrs. Markby, Markby, and Markby.
Marbury. A firm of the very highest position in their profession. Indeed, I have heard that one of the Miss Markbys is occasionally to be seen at dinner parties. So far, I am satisfied.
That is very kind of you, Lady Bracknell. I have also in my possession, you will be pleased to hear, certificates of Miss Cardew's birth, baptism, whooping cough, registration, vaccination, confirmation, and the measles, both the German and the English variety.
Like proud of instinct, I see. Although, perhaps somewhat too exciting for young girl. I myself am not in favor of premature experiences. When the time approaches for our departure, come from unveiled to news. As a matter of form, Mr. Worthing, I suppose I had better ask you, Miss Cardew has any little fortune?
Oh, about 130,000 pounds in the funds. That is all. Goodbye, Lady Bracknell. So pleased to have seen you.
130,000 pounds, and in the funds. Miss Cardew seems to be most attractive. Young girls of the present day have really solid qualities, indeed the qualities that last into the time. We live, I regret to say, in the age of services. Come here. Your dress is sadly simple, and your hair seems almost as nation might have left it, but I can't soon put up all that. There is a very experienced French maid who produced a really marvelous result in a very brief space of time. I remember recommending one to Lady Lansing, and in 3 months her own husband did not know her.
And after 6 months, nobody knew her.
Only should become independent. Of course, you know that Algernon has nothing but his debts to depend upon, but I do not approve of mercenary marriages. When I married Lord Bracknell, I had no fortune of any kind, but I never dreamed for a moment of allowing that to stand in my way. Well, I suppose I must be a 1%.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
Excessively late.
Thank you, Lady Brockton.
You may also address me Aunt Augusta for the future.
Yes, Aunt Augusta.
The marriage, I think, had better take place quite soon.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
To speak frankly, I'm not in favour of long engagements. They give people the opportunity of finding out who they're married before marriage. Please never advise them.
I beg your pardon for interrupting you, Lady Bracknell, but I am Miss Carving's guardian, and she cannot marry without my consent until she becomes legally of age. That consent I absolutely decline to give.
On what grounds, may I ask? Eleanor is an extremely, I may almost say, ostentatiously elegant young man. He has nothing, but he looks everything. What more can you desire?
It pains me very much to have to speak quite frankly to you, Lady Bracknell, about your nephew. But the fact is, I do not at all approve of his moral character. I suspect him of being untruthful.
Untruthful? My nephew Eleanor, impossible. He attended Oxford.
I'm afraid there's no possible doubt about the matter. This afternoon, during my temporary absence in London on an important question of romance, he obtained admission to my house under the false pretense of being my brother. And under an assumed name he drank, I've just been informed by my butler, an entire pint bottle of my Perrier Jouet Brut Caprivana wine that I was specially reserving for myself. Continuing his disgraceful deceptions, he succeeded in, over the course of the afternoon, in alienating the affections of my own. Then subsequently, he stayed to tea and devoured every single muffin. What makes his conduct all the more heartless is that he was perfectly well aware from the first that I have no brother, I never had a brother, and I certainly have not the smallest intention of ever having a brother in the future. I told him so distinctly myself yesterday afternoon.
Mr. Worthing, after careful consideration, I have decided to entirely overlook my nephew's conduct to you.
That is very generous of you, Lady Bracknell. My decision, however, is unalterable. I decline to give my consent.
Come here, dear. How will you see that?
Well, I'm really only 18, but I've always been to 20 when I was at evening parties.
You will not be right to making some slight alteration. Indeed, no woman should ever quite make such a marriage. Do so cleverly. 18, admitting to 20 at evening parties. Well, it will not be long before you are of age and free from the restraints of tutelage, so I don't see that your guardian's consent is after all a matter of any importance.
Pray forgive me for interrupting you again, Lady Bracknell, but it is only fair for me to tell you that, according to the terms of her grandfather's will, Miss Cardew does not legally come of age until she is 35.
That does not seem to me a great objection, but you guys are very attractive age. London society is full of women of the highest birth who have remained 25 more years. Lady Dominique is an instance of one. To my own knowledge, she has been 35 ever since she arrived at the age of 40. Many years ago. Indeed, I see no reason that our dear Cecily should not be even more attractive at the age mentioned than she is at present. There will be a large accumulation of property.
How did you with me till I was 35?
Of course I could, Cecily. You know I would.
Yes, not conceivably, but I don't know if I could wait till that time. I hate waiting even 5 minutes for anyone. It's always seems rather cross. I'm not punctual myself, I know that, but I like punctuality in others. So waiting even to be married is quite out of the question.
Then what shall we do?
I suppose, hungry.
My dear Mr. Worth, as Miss Cardew states positively that she cannot wait until she is 35, but not what I am bound to say displays to me some lack of patience. I would beg of you to reconsider your decision.
My dear Lady Bracknell, the decision is entirely in your hands. As soon as you consent to my marriage with Gwendolyn, I will most gladly allow your nephew to form an alliance with my ward.
You must be aware To miss any more my disposal to comment on that.
Everything is quite ready for christening.
The christening? Sir! Isn't that somewhat premature?
I've expressed a desire for immediate baptism.
At their age, the idea is grotesque and irreligious algebra forbidden to be baptized. Lord, Lord Brighton will not approve of such excesses. Will not approve of the way of wasting your time and money.
Am I to understand then there are to be no christenings at all this afternoon?
It seems that as things are now, it would not seem of much practical value to either of us, Dr. Charles.
I am very eager to hear such sentiments from you, Mr. Worthing. I will return to the church at once. Indeed, I've been informed for the last hour and a half. Miss Prison has been waiting for me at this.
Miss Prism? Did I hear you mention a Miss Prism?
Yes, Lady Brighton. I'm on my way to join you.
Pray allow me to detain you for a moment. This matter may prove to be of one vital importance to myself and Lord Brighton. Is this Miss Prism a female repellent aspect, remotely connected with education?
She is the most cultivated of ladies and a very picture of respectability.
This is what makes it the same person. May I ask what position she holds in your household?
I am celibate.
Lady Bracknell, for the last 3 years, Miss Prison has been Miss Cardew's esteemed governess and trusted companion.
In spite of what I hear of her, I must see her at once. Let her be sent for.
She approaches, she's not.
I was told you expected me thus evening, Canon. I've been waiting for you here for an hour and 3 quarters.
Prism! Come here! Prism! Where is that baby? 28 years ago, Prism, you left Lord Bracknell's house, number 104, Upper Grosvenor Street, in charge of a perambulator that contained a baby of the male sex. You never returned. A few weeks later, through the elaborate investigations of the Metropolitan Police, the perambulator was discovered at midnight, standing by itself in a remote corner of Bayswater. It contained a manuscript, a 3-volume novel of more than usually revolting sentimentality, but the baby was not there. Prism, where is that baby?
Lady Bracknell, I would with shame that I did not know. I only wish I did. The plain facts of the case are these. On the morning of the day you mentioned, a day that is forever branded on my memory, I prepared as usual to take the baby out to Miss Perambulator. I had also with me a somewhat old but capacious handbag in which I had intended to place the manuscript of a work of fiction that I had written during my few unoccupied hours. In a moment of mental abstraction, for which I can never forgive myself, I deposited the manuscript in the bassinet and placed the baby in the handbag.
But where did she deposit the handbag?
Don't ask me, Mr. Worthing.
Miss Prison, this is a matter of no small importance to me. I insist on knowing where you deposited that handbag, which contained that infant.
I left it in the cloakroom of one of the larger railway stations in London.
What railway station?
Victoria, the Brighton one.
I must retire to my room for a moment. Gwendolyn, would you wait here for me?
You are not too long. I've been waiting here for you all my life.
Lady Brighton, what does this mean?
I dare not even suspect Dr. Chasuble. I need hardly tell you that in family practices and strange coincidences are not supposed to occur. They are hardly considered the thing.
Your guardian has a very emotional nature.
It sounds as if you were having an argument. I dislike arguments. They're always wrong. Often it's
It has stopped now.
This suspense is terrible. I hope
Prism, more is restored to you than this handbag. I was the baby placed in it.
You?
Yes. Mother.
Mr. Webb, I'm unmarried.
Unmarried? Oh, I do not deny that this is a serious blow. But who has the right to cast a stone against one who has suffered? Cannot an act of repentance wipe out an act of folly? Why is there one law for men and another for women? Mother, I forgive you.
Mr. Webb, there was some error. There is the lady who can tell you who you really are.
Lady Bracknell, I hate to seem inquisitive, but would you kindly inform me who I am?
I'm afraid that the news I have to give you will not altogether please you. You are the son of my poor sister, Mrs. Moncrief, and consequently, Algernon's elder brother.
Algy's elder brother? Then I have a brother after all. I always knew I had a brother. I always said I had a brother. Cecily, how could you have ever doubted that I had a brother? Dr. Charles, my unfortunate brother. Miss Prism, my unfortunate brother. Gwendolyn, my unfortunate brother. Algy, you young scoundrel, you've got to treat me with more respect in the future. You've never treated me like a brother in all your life.
Well, not till today, old boy. I admit I did my best, however, though I was out of practice.
My own. Who are you? What is your Christian name? Now that you have become someone else.
Good heavens, I'd quite forgotten that point. I suppose the decision on the subject of my name is irrevocable, I suppose.
I never change except in my affections.
What noble nation, Alvin.
Then the matter better be cleared up at once. Aunt Augusta. When at the time of the prison had placed me in a handbag, had I been christened already?
Every luxury that money could buy, even lucracy, had been lavished on me by your fond and doting parents.
Then I was christened, and that is settled. Now, what name was I given? Pray, let me know the rest.
Being the eldest son, you were naturally christened after your father, General Moncrief.
Yes, but what was my father's Christian name?
I cannot at present recall what the general's Christian name was. I don't actually have one though. He was a saintly guy. That's not Italy. Really only due to the Indian climate, allergy, indigestion, and things of that kind.
Algy, can't you recollect what our father's Christian name was?
My dear boy, we were never even on speaking terms. He died before I was a year old.
His name would appear in the omnibus of the period, I suppose, Aunt Augusta.
The general was essentially out of use, except in his festival. But I am sure his name would be of any village in
The omnibus of the last 40 years. Why here? These delightful records should have been my constant study. And generals. Malcolm, Maxon, Magley, what costly names they have. Marby, Migsby, Mobbs, Moncrief. Lieutenant, 1840. Captain, Lieutenant Colonel, General, 1869. Christian names, Ernest John. I had always told you, Gwendolyn. My name was Ernest, didn't I? Well, it is Ernest after all. I mean, it naturally is Ernest.
Yes, I remember now what the general was called Ernest. I remember having some particular reason for disliking the name.
My own Ernest. I felt from the first that you would have no other name.
My own one.
Letitia.
Frederick at last.
Cecily at last.
Gwendolyn at last.
My nephew, you seem to be displaying signs of triviality.
On the contrary, Aunt Augusta, I've now realized for the first time in my life the vital importance of being earnest.
your neighbours and come and see the Victoria class tomorrow at 4 and the Brighton line again at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Have a great night. Thank you. Oh, and leave by the foster doors so you don't get locked in the playground. Foster doors are right there. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
Thank you.